Hello everyone, welcome to Endless English. Welcome to the world of beauty. Everyone likes nature, everyone likes spring. Spring season is a colorful season. The earth gets a magical touch of rainbow of colors in this season. Every bird, every flower, every leaf enjoys this spring to the fullest. But man doesn't. He detached himself from the beauty of nature and filled with the miseries of the world. The poet questions what man is made of man by separating himself from this nature. Since William Wordsworth is a nature poet, he expects everyone to love nature and commune with nature and worship nature. Shall we see what he says in this poem? The lines written in the early spring. Shall we see about William Wordsworth now? William Wordsworth was one of the founders of English Romanticism and important intellects. He is remembered as a spiritual poet and the silent poet. He is a nature poet who loved nature and worshipped nature. He feels that there is a close bond with the human relationship to nature. He was born on April 7, 1770 in Cockermouth in Cumberland, located in Lake District of England. His parents died at his young age. He and his siblings suffered a lot and they were orphaned too. He began to write poems as a young boy in grammar school. He went on walking tour of Europe, which deepened his love for nature. William Wordsworth wrote a number of poems on nature, like Daffodils, lines composed upon Westminster Bridge, Perfect Woman, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, The Solitary Reaper, We Are Seven, lines written about Tinton Abbey, Ode on Immortality, My Heart Leaps, etc. His collaboration with Samuel Taylor Coleridge in prefaced lyrical ballads marked the beginning of Romantic era. His poems are loved by both youngsters and adults. In 1843, he became England's Poet Laureate, a position he held for the rest of his life. He died on April 23, 1850. Lines written in early spring is in a form of a ballad and consists of 6 quatrains. The poem narrates the feelings of a poet towards nature and the lesson he has learned from it. Wordsworth was inspired into writing this poem when he was walking near a village of Alford. So the setting of the poem can be associated with the beautiful scenery of Alford. Let me read out the first stanza. I heard 1,000 blended notes, while in a grove I sat reclined. In that sweet mood, when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. Here the poet is in a forest area. He was sitting leaning back on a tree and he heard 1,000 mixed musical sounds of nature. What are the musical sounds in nature? The chirping of the birds, flowing of water, blowing of wind, etc. The poet was happy in the midst of these beautiful sounds of nature. But he says the happy thoughts also remind him of sad thoughts. Here he refers to many changes that occur in the society. In the place of being happy, he was filled with sad thoughts too. See the second stanza. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. In the second stanza, William Wordsworth says what makes him feel sad. He appreciates the nature for her godlike abilities of connecting the human soul to herself. But he feels sad when he is thinking about how cruelly man has separated himself from Mother Nature. Actually, the poet wants a man to be close to nature, but the man doesn't do so. He is getting away from nature as a society getting developed. The man detached himself from nature. This affected William Wordsworth a lot. Shall I read the third stanza? Through primrose tufts in that sweet bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and it's my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. In the third stanza, William Wordsworth is highly appreciative of nature's beauty. He finds delight in the green bowers. The place is covered with the bunches of primroses, and the beautiful periwinkles spread over the green surface of the ground in the form of a flower wreath, the flowering. The poet has faith that these flowers are very happy and they enjoy every ounce of the air they breathe. These flowers are very much thankful for living beside the nature. Though man lives among the nature, he doesn't enjoy the beauty of the nature. He is disturbed by many thoughts. Now we move to the fourth stanza. The birds around me hopped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. In this stanza, the poet observes the movements of the birds and says, even the birds also fill with the pleasure. The birds around the poet sang, hopped, and played. He is wondered at these creatures. He cannot measure their thoughts of joy. Though the poet does not understand their language and ways, he recognizes that the birds are creating all these movements out of only pleasure and joy. Let me pause on to the fifth stanza. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. In the fifth stanza, William Wordsworth says, even the leafless branches enjoy the beauty of the nature. The breeze in the grove is sweet and light. The leafless branches spread out to catch the flowing sweet breeze. The poet feels that all that he can do is to gather pleasure in their existence. Each and everything in the grove enjoys the beauty of the nature, whereas man is detached from it. Now we have come to the last part of the poem. Now we are going to see the last stanza. The last stanza ends with a question. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? Here the poet William Wordsworth feels sad about the world of miseries of human being. Here he says, if this place is a heaven, the holy plan of nature, then what man has made of man by separating himself from nature? What kind is he by separating from such joy and pleasure of nature? The poet's heart, his spirits are still feeling sorrow about the miseries and the troubles of human world. The world of nature is untouched by the miseries of humanity. The human soul is in its strong cage of mortality. The human soul is left behind to experience the misery of human world. It has not yet come out to have communion with the nature. Hello, my dear ones. I hope you might have understood what William Wordsworth expects from you. Look deep into nature and then you'll understand everything better. Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. Why should we feel sad? Let's join our hands with the nature and commune with the nature. Let me sign off with the loads of wishes and greetings to meet you again. Till we meet again, it's bye from Vijay Edison. Thank you.